Good morning, all. It is Tuesday, April 26th. I'm in Florida, so I am checking out opportunities out here, trying to find more places where we can get more inventory for our real estate investors to be able to continue to keep buying. So, getting a better understanding of these markets. It's also a place I've invested in as well. So I want to see some of the stuff that I've got going on out here in the meantime, ensure that all the things are set up, that we have the relationships in this area to ensure that those who we work with, when things are getting a little bit tough to get a deal done, we can make a phone call, work our way through it. Because if you don't know people, you can't work your way through problems real easily. So, but let's get into markets real quick here. It's really about all to talk about. We've got the Fed talking about a 50 basis point hike here coming up real soon. That has at least given some sort of what looks like, them talking about that, confirming that. Then you also have some talk about other things that would help the economy, as far as they're looking at plans that could help the problems with inflation as far as supply chain issues concerned. There's a lot of things coming across from China with respect to that. All these things are given what looks like would be benefit to bonds, because like, hey, if we can get this inflation under control, that'll help it. So as you can see, these last few days, we got 3 days here where we found what might be a bottom. But here's my concern about this. So we see here where we've had 3 days of really, really good movement. I'm gonna go ahead and scroll in a little bit more here for you guys. And so because of that, and we don't have any gaps, right? The wicks of these candles have intersected, therefore there's no gaps. We're in a really solid position, but look where we climbed up from that before. 3 days here, bam, major hit. We got these three, we've had a few days here, took a hit. We've had a few days here, took a hit. So it still is inside the channel as far as our downward channel is concerned. Whether or not it's going to continue to increase in a way to get outside that channel and start moving sideways, or at least stabilize the market's kind of hard to say. It has taken a pretty hard nosedive, as we've seen here with the broader charts, where it's the steepest nosedive we've seen, period. Really, I mean, the steeper nosedive was right around the pandemic. That was pandemic driven, and it was recovered quickly within about 20 days by the Fed, of course, throwing in $1 trillion. But I don't know if this is signaling that we're at a bottom. I'm of the mindset, if it was me locking today, I don't have anything in the hopper to lock, but if it was me locking today, I would lock immediately, because we have a pattern of it going up and slamming hard. Going up and slamming hard as a result of that. And I don't see an absolute bottom yet because of what we're going on with the economy, but we're due for a bottom, right? I'm hoping that that's where we're at. But in fact, I could look at another chart and see if maybe it's mirroring something that I had anticipated, but that's not something I can see right now because of my internet being really, really tough to do anything from where I'm at. I had to really just get that chart and hold it. So what we're looking at here, what could be the start of some improvement, but I'm not hopeful for it, because it's the charts and the technicals of the past has not led me to believe that we are living in any sort of environment like what we could have called in the past. So that being said, interest rates being where they are, still way better than inflation. We talked about that interest rate, what do you want to call that? Arbitrage, if you will, and that was something provided to me by somebody else. A guy by the name of Adam told me about that. Adam, thank you for the information. I hadn't really thought about it that way. Back when we get interest rates in the 4s, the inflation was claimed to be at 2%. This is the CPI, so it means you were somewhere in a 2% cost, right? Your money was losing 4% of its value, 2% of its value, and then you were paying 4% in interest. So in reality, you're paying 2% of what is actually usable value of money, because inflation was not eroding it by that total of 4. Now we're at interest rates, and that's just round numbers. Now we're at interest rates of, say, 6 or a little over 6, but inflation over 8. So now it's the other direction. Inflation is over 2% or 2.5% higher than what you're paying in interest. So therefore, you're making 2 to 2.5% on your money. So when you think about it in those terms, we are in a phenomenal spot. I've shared so many times of where interest rates should be. We should be over 13, where things should be, according to the last time we looked at rates, or at least inflation of this level, and where rates were. And then what the Taylor rule says when it comes to the Fed quelling inflation. All those things say you're in a phenomenal spot to jump on this, take advantage of it, get it, lock it in, move forward. Don't look backwards, because you did awesome if you did that. If you need anything from us, please let us know. I'll be getting back to you guys on Friday this week. Have a good week.